Hi there, my name is Angela. Welcome to my garden, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Today we're going to do a little bit of catch up in the veggie garden. It's been a while since I've checked in. That's because there wasn't too much going on. We had such a long, drawn out, cold winter. I'm in the Midwest, I'm southwestern Ohio, zone 6. And I think it might have been like that in a lot of parts of the US. The cold temps lingered on and on. And it wasn't until May 18th, I think that's right, that I was able to get my tomatoes and peppers planted out. Today is May 28th, so they've been in the ground for a little bit now, a little over a week. I think that's the latest that I can ever remember getting things, the hot weather crops, planted out. So if you're ready, let's jump in. Okay, and we have a couple of new things to show you since the last time I caught up with you. One is this bridge here going from the front yard over into the side of the house where the veg garden is. Before, this is kind of like a dry creek bed along here. Runs up there, and if you can see the gravel on the ground, and then it flows down into a pond a little further on. So when it rains, this area is soggy, wet, muddy, slippery. In the winter, the snow is very slippery anytime I want to walk over to the garden. And this has been a long time coming, but my husband built this nice bridge. We just did pressure treated pine. See how long that holds up. And there are runners underneath the bridge that are 4x4 posts, and they're just kind of set into the ground a little bit at each end. Nothing fancy. It was real simple to make, easy, but walking over this now is so nice. I can't even tell you how many times I slid in that little depression trying to walk over to the veggie garden. It was awful. This is wonderful, especially when I'm pulling the cart to and from this area. Another new thing, I think this is probably new since we last caught up, built a new raised bed to replace another one that was in that location that had rotted out over 10 years. Got a lot of use out of it. Haven't stained it yet. I want to stain it to match the others and then set it into the ground. So it looks rough right now, and you can see it's very weedy in there, but that'll all be taken care of. Let's see what we got growing. Let's start over here at this far bed. This far bed is a 3x12, and we've got garlic in that I put in last fall, of course. And then I've got in this little corner here 5 asparagus plants. I'll take you in a little closer. I don't know if those are showing up, those little tiny fronds. We'll see how that does. And then I added 3 of my tomato plants into the back here. This is not the best bed in my garden for tomatoes because it doesn't get as much sun, but they will grow here and they'll do okay. The garden's still kind of a mess. You can see I've got mulch bags this weekend if it's not raining. So yeah, back to the weather. After it finally started heating up a little bit, we're finally getting rain. May has been rainy, 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 which normally comes in April for us. But April was really, really dry, almost drought-like and cold. So we're finally getting the rain, but today is actually sunny and warm, so that'll be good. In this bed here, I have mostly potatoes. I'm growing 5 different varieties of potatoes, and the potatoes are looking great, at least above the ground. One of the varieties is already flowered, and it looks like this one is getting ready to flower right there. So that's a good sign. I hope that all is well in the soil, as good as it is above the soil. At the end of this bed, I've got some yarrow. The little flying insects are loving that. I'm just going to keep that in there. Of course, that's a perennial. And I did do a video kind of going over my seed potato haul earlier this year. I'll link to that in case you're interested to see the 5 varieties that I got. I'll link that at the end of this video. Coming back up here in this bed, and you can see this bed here is starting to decay too. It's been in the ground since 2015, so it's been a long time. We kind of just bolstered it up there with some pieces of wood kind of wedged in, and it'll hold for now. Maybe next year we will remake this bed. But in this bed I've got mostly onions, and by far the main variety that I'm growing is a variety called Walla Walla. That's what all these are. That's kind of a no-fail onion variety for me. It's just like a standard white onion, nothing fancy. And all of these leafies plants just popped up. I'm pretty sure those are borage, so I'm going to let them grow and flower. They look like borage, and I think I had some borage in here last year, so they probably just came back. I've got some dill, just a couple of dill plants here. This is the variety called green sleeves. That's the variety I've been growing these last few years. It's fine, it works out fine, and I'll just keep growing that till my seeds run out. Another one of these pop-up borage plants. I might have to yank that one out because I've got an eggplant right there that's trying to do something, and then one more eggplant there. And in the next bed it's potatoes, 2 different varieties. And in this last bed here with the tall trellis, that's all hops. And hops are a bully plant. Even though I cleared a lot of them out in the fall last year, they just take over and they spill out all into the ground. I don't want to totally do away with them because they're pretty, but I really would like to use this trellis for beans and cucumbers and maybe some melons. If not this year, then next year. So let's move on around. Got my potting bench there, a bunch of cardboard waiting to be put into use. And I'm going to show you my green stalks last. I'll give you a little peek there, but we'll come back to those. Let us look at this final bed here, which is a long one. Those beds running down the middle, the ones with the onions and such, and the hops are 3 by 8. This is another long one, 3 by 12, and I've got most of my tomatoes are in this bed, and this is absolutely the bed that is the best for tomatoes because it gets the most sun throughout the day. So I do also have some peppers in here and some flowers. I've got some Nicotiana seedlings planted in here. I'm so glad that today we're kind of drying out because I think my plants were drowning. So the tomatoes are in these cages, which aren't the best for tomatoes. They're good for peppers, but for tomatoes they're a little bit short, so we'll figure something out once they start getting that tall. And then the last place I have tomatoes, I have 4 T-posts just in the ground here that I had some netting up on that I used as a trellis in years past for growing melons and such. I took it down because it was looking really bad, and I ended up planting some more tomato seedlings along each post, but I can see that something has gotten to those, probably a deer. So they're not, and some of them are missing, a couple of them are just gone. So it's okay, I'll just plant something else there, and maybe this will be the year that we finish our fence. We'll just have to see about that. It is a plan, and it's in progress to get an 8-foot fence around this little garden area. You can see the posts there that we've gotten some of them into place. We have the rest of the wood, and we'll probably get that finished this year. So I've got 2 green stalks here. This one is the blueberry. This one, I forget the full name of it, but it's a dark purple color. Nothing's in those yet, and a couple of them don't even have soil in. I got them in the fall last year. Then the other 3 green stalks that I have are back here. They're not going to get as much sun. As you can see, they're kind of under a tree branch. So for these, I'll probably do some leafy greens, and we'll see how that goes this year. This is the lemon color, then the beige one is called stone, and then this pinkish purple is called razzleberry. Doesn't have soil in yet because it's another one of those that I got late in the season last year. And if it turns out that they don't even get enough sun to grow leafy greens, I'll have to figure something else out. So I know that leafy greens don't need as much sun as other veggie plants, but they still do need some. So I've got some little bare root things growing in those black pots that aren't vegetables. They're meant to be landscaping plants. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about those today, because today we're focused on the veggie garden. And so that's kind of the changes that I've made this year. We'll see how it goes. It's always kind of an evolution, finding out what works best, and what needs to be changed from year to year as far as placement, location, any new infrastructure, and things like that. And in case you're wondering, nothing's going on in the greenhouse yet. I will use that to start some maybe some flower seeds or watermelons or something like that. I'll keep them in there until they're big enough to go out into the ground or into one of the raised beds. I have a lightning bug that just landed on me. Yes, so you can kind of peek in here. It's 8 by 8. It's not huge, but it's all that I really need. I usually keep these pots on the ground, on the gravel here. My husband was kind enough to clean these walls for me and the ceiling as much as he could reach, at least. So he needed to put the ladder there on the ground and put all the pots up on the shelves, which is not a problem. I was so thankful that he was willing to do that for me. He's such a huge help. He's not a gardener himself and doesn't really like digging in the soil too much, but he's so generous with building things for me. He loves to build things, so that is so nice, and I'm so thankful. So that's probably about it today. Just a quick little catch up. Next time we'll take a look out at the grounds and some of the landscaping changes that I'm working on. And like I mentioned, I did do a video showing my seed potato haul, going over each of the 5 varieties that I planted this year. If you missed that, I'll go ahead and link it. It'll be right over here, so you can watch that next. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today in the garden. It means the world to me. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help my tiny little channel. And maybe consider subscribing. That way you won't miss all the gardening goodness to come this summer. Thanks again, and until next time, just keep planting.